Hadouken!
I'm ready. I was born ready.
You were born ready, and I'm ready too, so we're both ready. Thank you for tuning in. It is what is this podcast?
Is it This American Life? That's what it's called, right?
I think so. Or is it Community, the television show?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Ha ha ha. Thank you for tuning in. First Person Suplex, the podcast. I'm one Ryan Joseph, the host with the flow that you know. You can't toast without me. And I'm kind of like a ghost, and sometimes Lou Chu is too. Sometimes I make him blue.
Too high to roast.
Yeah, we don't roast. And that's Lucha Rocket. We're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. See, we set up here, and I was fucking trying to get this podcast going. We usually start at 3. We're a half an hour late, thanks to Windows 8. Or maybe it's just my hardware is a piece of shit, but I was about ready, Lou. I'm telling you, I was about ready to place this fucking laptop on the ground and take a hammer to it.
Ooh.
I just had a little bit of rage, but yeah, I was going to do that. We keep it real out here in Burlington, Ontario.
I get like that. That's an international thing.
Is that real? Is that real? Do you get that mad, or is that just me?
That's a real thing. Like that kind of like just like fucking scream into a pillow kind of rage that you get sometimes.
See,
you know,
that's scary for me to see that you have that kind of rage because you seem like a calm guy. So now I'm picturing you like this Jake Gyllenhaal type serial killer, Nightcrawler type dude. Is that Jake Gyllenhaal or Tobey Maguire?
That could very well be me. No, that is Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, okay. Sociopathic. Will kill anyone to get story. That's practically my life story, if anything.
And I knew that from you, Lou. I knew like you were the kind of guy you just gotta don't fuck with Lou. He'll cut your balls off in your sleep and
I will cut your throat and then stick your balls in the flap so that like the scrotum is hanging out of your throat. And then I will on the news and do it really well.
I think they had one of those aliens on Men in Black too. It was called
Scrotum neck, yeah.
The Bolchinian, if you remember. They're redoing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Have you seen that news?
I heard the news. I haven't heard the specifics. I would imagine Alfonso Riviera was super into it. Super into it. I don't know about anyone else. Aren't they all dead, most of the other ones?
Their careers are certainly dead.
So more or less dead, yeah.
But Uncle Phil, he's rolling in his grave.
He is, yeah.
That's really disrespectful. I'm sorry, Uncle Phil. You always did right by Will, all the time.
He did.
That was gonna be fun.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that one where they had that really emotional moment where him and Will were having this heart-to-heart, and they were both crying?
That made me cry, man.
That shit was fierce with emotion. That was.
It got real at that point.
That lit up my watery optics for sure. For sure.
I just remember Will Smith's lip. It had some mad vibrato at that time.
It did, didn't it? It did, actually.
And that was the realest shit in his entire rap career. Was that TV show? The realest.
That's right.
That's where he got his street cred.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, parents just don't understand. Is the truth and a thing that
you know what I like that you have the wealth of hip hop knowledge. You're just like a vault. You're like a Wikipedia in that little noggin of yours there, Lou, of hip hop references.
I guess so. Yeah, I've listened to a lot of stuff, a lot of which I can't really remember.
Worst hip hop? Tell me.
The worst.
The worst. I want to hear the worst.
Fucking hell.
Okay, well let's say this: the worst that most people generally like.
Macklemore. I can't stand Macklemore. Sorry, Macklemore fans, but I can't really do Macklemore. Iggy Azalea, she's pretty shit. She's kind of a garbage person. Notice I'm like listing white people, right? This isn't like Eminem's a great rapper, but apparently white people who are pop rappers are just garbage. So maybe stop doing that, white people.
Yeah. I think it all comes down to being white. If you're white, you have this gene that You lack rhythm. You lack oppression. Well, just like
We can't jump. We can't jump for sure.
white people rap about stupid shit. Like they're trying to change the world. White people don't have to change the world. White people's world's pretty good.
That's true. Do you know what while you're talking about rap that changes the world, what one of my favorite albums from this past year has been? Do you want me to tell you?
Oh yeah. I'm waiting. In anticipation. Great anticipation.
So, you know Ray Shremmerd?
Yeah.
I don't know, they're probably like 12 years old or something. But I had this kind of epiphany because I was listening to it for like the 40th time while I was driving today. That it was like the perfect hip hop party record, like the perfect modern hip hop party record, because it's literally like someone like they're clearly a packaged thing. There was never two like 12-year-old kids. I'm calling them 12. They're not 12 years old, but they seem 12 to me. Like there was never this idea that two 12-year-olds could come together and be huge hip hop stars. They're almost like something that was put together by someone who was very, very smart. And I don't mind that so much that they're a packaged hip hop duo, because the person who created that thing is clearly a mastermind of rap magnitude, you know?
Yeah,
because all of their songs, like they've got this down to an art. All of their songs repeating the same catchy hooks over and over and over again, and having good production. Like that is hip hop party record fucking 101, and they've done it on literally every record, every single on that fucking album that they have. And it's great. If you want to listen to that kind of thing, you just put that shit on, you just let it play in the background, not think about it, and you can bounce along to that shit for like literally 11 songs in a row. They've got it down to a fucking art form. It ain't no high concept shit. It's just fun times.
Oh my god.
With the Ray Shremmerd guys.
And that's all you need.
I don't mind that so much, you know. I don't know what their reception is over in America. They seem like the kind of people who would like divide people a lot. But for me, just as an outsider who just found their album, I just thought, hey, this is just fun to listen to. I'm having fun listening to this. I don't need to listen to my introspective fucking Jizza or Kendrick Lamar or whatever that I'm listening to all the time. I can just, you know, put this thing on, just chill the fuck out.
Hey,
it's fine.
You ever listen to that Crisscross act? Those two little J Browns with backwards clothes.
I heard Jump. That's the only song I heard.
Yeah, but look how fast they rapped back in the day. They were pretty good.
You wiggity want to tell me what's up?
Wiggity whack. They had a song called
good.
I missed the bus. Oh, I missed the bus. Oh, and he just talks about missing the bus to school.
That's great.
But he rapped like Stretch from OPP, and that was good.
That is good, yeah.
Good for you, little man, who's now probably grown in prison.
One of them is dead, I think. No, they genuinely, one of them is dead.
And I know, I don't mean to laugh at the death of somebody, but it is...
That's funny, one of them is dead.
Because now the gimmick is shot.
Yeah, I guess. Because now it's Chris, or it's Cross.
Chris is dead?
There is no Chris Crossing.
You could be like half and half. One guy could be both of them. He could adopt the other guy's personality.
Like he ate him in the womb, but actually he just absorbed his spirit.
And who doesn't want that? Isn't that like a vampire? Like vampire hip hop?
Vampiric hip hop acts that just consume each other. They've created their own genre.
You know what I'm sad about? We don't have Dynamite Zeddy here.
No, we don't. He's the final word on that was that he got a last-minute phone call to ask to help someone move.
And so obviously, you pick the biggest guy in the pack. What's that?
Obviously,
he's like 7'1", 385.
7 foot tall, and wait, I was trying to think of that fucking. Oh shit! What is it from NXT? The two Guido guys.
Colin.
7 foot tall.
And you can't
teach that. That's it. That's what
Colin
it is.
Cassidy. Is that not it?
That's it.
Colin Cassidy. Speaking of NXT.
Enzo Amore.
For our talking points today,
Hang on, before we go into anything, we're getting feedback in the chat.
That the video is not working.
No video. Ifra's asking, can you even hear anything? Wait, we need to ask her.
That's
So, no audio either. We're not firing on any cylinders.
you see,
right now.
I read that, but I thought Ifra was being condescending to Rob, as if, what would you know? Can you even hear anything?
Do you even have oral sensibilities? You fucking asshole.
Well, I mean, I see. I don't know. Is it maybe Twitch that's messed up today? Are other streams good?
I don't know.
I don't know
Because I know that with this stream, I always have issues watching it. Sometimes it's okay to listen to, but often I can't watch it. But that's the thing. The only time it actually worked for listening and watching was that last time we did one, and now we're back, and I can't watch it anymore.
we're back.
I don't know what happened.
Well,
It's a shame you upgraded.
yeah.
You had
Fuck Windows.
had
10.
it.
I have that in the hand.
Oh, now broadcast has just stopped. Apparently, it's offline.
I restarted the
Okay.
podcast here. So I'm not sure what it is. It might be my hardware. It might be that I just need to upgrade. Maybe, yeah, and I think it's going to be OBS next time. See, the way I do my layouts though, there's a lot of layers. In OBS.
Yeah, you can do that on
Yeah?
OBS.
Because I probably have about 25 layers here.
The only thing you can't do in OBS is you can't like skew to make them like weird angles and stuff.
Oh, I had that face. I'm done with that sort of thing.
Yeah. So if you're just putting stuff on top of stuff, OBS you can do that for days.
Oh, I lay it down.
just make
Stuff
it
on
fun.
stuff on stuff on stuff.
You can racks on racks to those layers. It's fine for you. You'll be living.
Then that's how we're gonna have to do it next week. We're gonna break it down like that. But for today, NXT is clearly a lot different than the main show. It's like pro wrestling versus sports entertainment. Nami,
Definitely.
Jafio, brah.
So,
So Finn Balor is reported as saying that he'd rather stay in NXT.
good.
He doesn't like what like how would you take that though as his boss? Who's his boss? Vince McMahon overall, but let's say
His boss is what? Triple H, I'm assuming.
Triple H, the game. What
Exactly.
you? That's how he just talks. Lou, Chew.
No, everybody. 9.99.
But what do you think to that? I mean, you obviously got to be flattered as Triple H, the guy who is a mastermind behind NXT. But
Yeah.
you're in the business where you expect that people want to get to the main place. Like, you're using NXT as a catapult. And people
True.
want to be in NXT to catapult. And here's this guy who is a 15-year veteran, like huge
Yeah.
in Japan. Probably one of the best workers in the world, and he doesn't want anything to do with the main thing. He's happy hanging down on the underground.
That just makes me like him more, firstly. And secondly, that just shows that he's very intelligent because he sees what happens to people who go up.
Kevin Owens.
You just get fucking you get butt. You get nothing but butt. That's it. Once you're up. Like the only person who's actually transitioned is Rollins, like properly.
Well, I think
That's like
everyone in the
made
Shield
snake-
is sort of, like they're over in a way. They're main parts of
Yeah.
the show. But like
And
Kevin,
we can talk about how we don't have to talk about this now, but speculating that either Ambrose or Reigns are going to turn at SummerSlam.
I hope it's Reigns, because
Do you hope so?
Oh yeah, because Ambrose, even if he's quote unquote heel, fans are still gonna like him because he has a very unique personality and character. He's always a tweener. You can argue that he's
Yeah.
always been a heel.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like when Stone Cold joined Vince at WrestleMania that time. Everyone was just like, well, we're not that bothered by it because he's probably just fucking still be himself, but just be like slightly meaner about it or something, you know?
And that was awesome. That was my favorite time as Stone Cold, when he and Triple H, when he was the bionic redneck, he started adopting the different colored knee braces, the reds and the golds. I mean, that was the extent of his vanity, and changing his vest to have like a red skull and a little bit more vain, but a little bit more vicious at that.
There you go, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't... Like, Reigns, it makes more sense for Reigns to go heel. He has more to be frustrated about.
What does he do, though? Does he join, like, Wyatt's little club? Does he do that, or what does he do? How does he turn?
He joins Rollins.
Okay.
Because playing by the book didn't get you anywhere, Reigns. In fact, you got fucked by the system. So if you can't beat them, join them. I could see that. It wouldn't make sense for, like, what would Ambrose do? Ambrose join Wyatt? That wouldn't make sense to me. I mean, he doesn't... Wyatt is such a strong speaker. It would divide the focus of the Wyatt family on who is, like, the top guy of that. It wouldn't make sense.
True. It is true. I think, if Reigns turns... I think he probably saw, like, what happened to The Rock and thought, hey, I'm going to have my time doing that. Not that he's got anything on The Rock. Exactly. I'm going to be Rocky Reigns. And he's going to trend his elbow and shit.
Rocky. Yeah. That sounds like a male stripper.
Rocky Reigns. He's the next character in, what is it, Magic Mike. Maybe the next one.
Triple XL. They should have, like, an obese Magic Mike. The unfortunate...
I'll be into that.
Yeah, an unfortunate Magic Mike, unfortunately.
Unfortunate Mike, yeah. There you go.
Going back...
Fetish Mike.
Fetish Mike. What would be that fetish? BBW?
That's right.
Is that what it is?
Or BBMs, I guess. Big Beautiful Men. I don't know. Anyway, do carry on with what you were going to say. Yeah.
Going back to Balor's loyalty to NXT, he's choosing, like, he doesn't have a choice, but he wants to stay with NXT. Does this set a precedent to divide the roster? Because you've got a guy who's willing to become a leader to NXT by opting to stay there. It's almost going to make, in my mind, it's almost like ECW. When people would stay in ECW to make nothing, but know that they're building something important, and then they're actually gonna mean something on that show. Because as soon as
he's like the Tommy Dreamer of NXT at this point, isn't he, Finn Balor?
Well, because who else is there when you don't see Sami Zayn anymore? No. Neville's gone. Tyson Kidd's gone. Owens is now gone. That seemed rushed because I mean Owens, when he came in, he didn't really have any feuds.
No.
He had like one. They got Samoa Joe floundering there, dicking up. Like, what is he doing? Baron Corbin.
Rhino?
Yeah, right. Like, okay, you got Rhino there. My problem is you job him all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't make for a good promotion of the next match when you just know he's gonna lose. He'll beat jobbers, absolutely.
Yeah.
Gore, great Rhino, applaud. But as soon as you're against anybody who needs a slightest push, you're rolling over, man.
It's true.
Like Baron Corbin, the crowd was yelling, boring at him.
Yeah.
And he's one of the main guys push. And I like that they're still going with him despite the crowd reaction, because that's very pro wrestling.
It is, yeah.
To stick to it and keep it real.
The thing is, he's like one of those people who should be sent up to main. Like, there are certain people who don't quite cut that kind of
cheese,
tongue-in-cheek kind of, self-aware wrestling kind of shit,
Yeah.
Whereas, like, he would fit into the mold of coming out every so often, beating the shit out of someone and being really moody about it. Like the main roster, he would fit into that kind of environment because it's a lot more. It is a lot more kind of by the numbers and a lot more gimmicky, isn't it?
Yeah.
And his gimmick is to be like a lone wolf, in air quotes, coming out and just beating the shit out of people, and then you just throw him into like the Wyatt's flock or whatever, and then just let him kind of explore that in a way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that would suit him better than being on this show because he, like on NXT, it's like they don't really push hard on gimmicks. Like a lot of people have come through on gimmicks. Like you get Enzo Amore and Cassidy and like in fact almost all the tag teams. But like the guys who are like the 1920s.
The vaudevillains.
That's it, the villains, yeah. Like people like that, even then it's not proper. It's like they're almost making fun of themselves, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas in WWE, it would be like, oh, these guys are really from 920.
How did they get here?
Look at the,
Oh my god!
do they have a time machine? Like, but in NXT, it kind of works because people are just like, this is kind of fun. This is stupid. I'm gonna go along with it, and they kind of make fun of themselves as well. So it works better.
And in ways, that is like ECW because the gimmicks in ECW were self-aware. Like you knew Al Snow was coming out with head, and you're like, okay, this is stupid, but I got a head. Like it gives an opportunity in such a small petri dish culture for these people to become possessive and identify with these gimmicks. It's theirs now. They like them because they show up every week and they do the same shit. They can expect it. It's entertaining for them to be able to anticipate that and be involved in their stupid little entrance. You know.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. But Baron Corbin belongs on the main roster because it's not believable for him to go out and square off with Samoa Joe.
No,
because Samoa Joe is on CM Punk level.
He is. It's true.
And I like that he's called Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
Gets to keep that. He gets to keep that.
It's a cute name, that is. But like, I guess what they're ultimately trying to do is create a separate brand from the main roster. But the way I feel is that they need more titles if they're going to do that. Like, just have one title and having seemingly an endless list of people say, oh, I'm coming for the title. Like, it's unbelievable because not all 20 of those people can gun in for the title at the same fucking time. Like, you need to give other people pools to explore within, like, certain subsections.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they need like a junior heavyweight or like a fucking IC title for that division, or like just something that gives other people a chance to reach a level of prestige without everyone racing for the same thing and just ending up like getting stuck in a door, if you know what I mean. Like, they're all trying to fit through this one small fucking door, and they're doing this whole Stooges thing where no one's like making it easy. They're all just wriggling together and just fucking dinking each other on the head and acting like jackasses about. Like, you need to give everyone a couple of doors so that they can all go into different doors and try different things.
Well, I mean, it's almost like Tyler Breeze on the Brooklyn takeover coming up. His match is almost like a level of prestige. Sure, it's not for a title, but he gets to have a match with Liger, which is insane for indie guys.
Yeah, definitely.
People love that shit. But I could never see Tyler Breeze as like the NXT champion.
No.
I don't.
He's an IC champion like all day long. He's an intercontinental champion. If ever I saw, he's got that going on.
See, I don't even know if it'd be like this level IC. I think like back when Val Venus was the IC champ. I can see that, but now like Daniel Bryan was the IC champ. I don't know. I don't know.
The level's gotten too high now.
European Championship. I can see
that sounds about right.
Tyler Breeze, because
light heavyweight championship.
His gimmick is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it I just don't like. It's too familiar. It's too ridiculous. His is a Raw gimmick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is a gimmick. Yeah. It's but I make it's a hard one because he's doing right by it. Like he's not pulling off his gimmick. Like he's doing a decent job of being that thing. But I can't see like a way of going off of it, a way of evolving it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like just it is what it is, and he's stuck with that for as long as he does it.
Like Glacier.
Like, I don't. Yes, yeah. Like he's never gonna evolve that gimmick into something that becomes something. It's almost like Triple H stuck on the fucking the pedigree, the Hunter Hearst Helmsley kind of era gimmick. Like he was never gonna push that into main event shit. He had to transform to Triple H. He had to become the game in order to actually mount some sort of importance in the company. And it's the kind of gimmick that just has no upwards momentum. It's just literally a roof right there.
Yeah. Well, you'd
Exactly.
have to stick him with the Wyatt family. If you
Just have him like distorted and twisted.
reboot him. That's what you'd have to do.
Yeah.
I think the Wyatt family is a good little thing for that. Like
It is.
It'd be a good venue for just rebooting guys. Just stick them with the Wyatts. Yeah. Hey, Tyson Kidd, you're going with the Wyatts this week. Did you?
And that's another thing though, with the Wyatt family. I think that is wrong for main roster. I think that would work better in NXT.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Because they know that they've got they've got a diamond that they need to polish, but all they're doing is just every week saying, you know what, just write your own promo. We're gonna give you like 10 minutes and just say whatever the fuck you want. Like, we're not gonna do anything with you, but as long as we keep you on TV and remind people that you're good at talking, then maybe that'll just kind of sell itself. It's fine. And it's just like it's the most tragic waste of like talent that I've ever seen in WWE, because he's easily one of the best mic workers I've ever come across, and his promos just go over everyone's fucking head. Like no one gets it. Everyone's just like, why the fuck is this guy out here? I came to see Cena. Like, and by the time he's finished, it's just quiet and people are just scratching their heads most of the time. People who actually like wrestling and like the shit he does are obviously there thinking, oh yeah, this is great, this is cool. But they're like me, probably thinking to themselves, but where is this going?
yeah.
Like, why is he just out here every week doing these cool things and it just leads fucking nowhere? Like, this guy needs to be like the one thing I wish they had done is that Wyatt beat Undertaker at WrestleMania and Undertaker joined the Wyatt family. That would have been fucking huge.
That'd be amazing.
That would have put that stable off like where it should be, not just fucking Rowan and the other guy, Luke Harper. That's all right, but they're not like henchmen. They're not proper henchmen. They're just background guys.
Yeah.
They're like Midian and Viscera in fucking Ministry. Like they're not the guys. They're just some of the guys.
They're just a couple of guys.
Exactly. Yeah. It's yeah.
Did you see the new footage for 2K16?
I did. Yeah, I watched it just before this.
What are your thoughts?
It looks alright.
It looks alright.
I mean,
Like that great.
it's the thing is, right, and I'll never be happy with a SmackDown game. I call it a SmackDown game because it is a SmackDown game. It always has been. I'll never be happy with one of those games because it's not the game I want to play. I want to play like another No Mercy game, and that's never going to happen. So I'm never going to be happy.
Yeah, you never know with mods. PC mods, you never know.
But they've barely pushed anything forward since it came to PC, really. Like I've been watching the forums every few weeks, thinking to myself, "Oh, maybe they've released like a patch that changes everything, makes it awesome," and all it is people like
New
uploading.
Titantrons.
Exactly, that's exactly what
Fuck
it
out of
is.
with that
It's
shit.
just people uploading individual Titan. Even then, it's fucking annoying. Like someone just put them all together so that I can download them all and use them.
Yeah.
Don't just fucking
One
throw them off
each.
one thing.
One each. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be one of those things like, because even today, No Mercy has a huge mod community. You could pick
Yeah.
up No Mercy now and play with the new roster. It looks like shit, but it's No Mercy. So I think in years to come, there'll be people modding old games. Like, there'll be a mod of WWE 2K15.
Yeah,
You know.
that makes it good.
Yeah,
So
that makes it good when it's already obsolete. I can see that happening.
hopefully,
Hopefully, but
because
who knows?
it doesn't look like they're going to do it to the actual game anytime soon.
Yeah.
They're,
Well,
they're not going to push it in the direction that we want, at least.
Well, 'cause what-
Maybe other people like it, but not me.
man,
so
what
much.
do you get with this new game? There's no loading screens, apparently. No loading screens, which is neat and it helps the immersion. You can
Yeah.
you can attack your guy, and then all they've done is brought back features that they had before 2K15.
I mean, what would you like to see? What would be your ideal wrestling? If this was like 2K17, what would you want to see?
I don't see. I like the direction they were going with 2K15's gameplay, a little bit more sim. But I think I just want to see more fluid gameplay. I want to see mechanics that make it more feasible. When I'm playing the game, I don't want to be playing like necessarily to win. I want to have an exciting experience from start to finish. I want unpredictability. I remember in 2010, they had a big run-in feature that was a big part of the forefront. The first match I played in that, I was Stone Cold Steve Austin against like Randy Orton, and suddenly two guys run in. I had a run-in of Cody Rhodes, and he got on the apron, started distracting the referee when I'm trying to pin a guy. So I'm like, fuck this guy. So now it's almost a handicap match. I get to the point where it's just one-on-one again. I hit the stunner on both guys. Finally, I got the pin. 1, 2. Well, here comes Ted DiBiase, because it was Legacy back then. And I was like, oh my God, like that was exciting to me because it was new and I didn't expect it. I want to see shit like that. I want to be caught off guard. I want to be a viewer as much as I am a player as part of the game.
Yeah, you want drama out of it, is what you want.
That's it. I want drama in the match. I don't just want to win. I don't care about winning. I want to have a good time. I want it to be feasible and organic to have high spots.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to set up this ladder and then fuck around with the guy for 15 minutes when he keeps crawling off the table to hit this shooting star press off the ladder and miss 6 times. I want it to work. I just want to be able to have an organic, dramatic gaming experience.
Yeah, that's not far off what I would be looking for from a game. Because to me, a perfect WWE 2K game would have a story mode that was like Skyrim or something, like where you could walk around backstage and just stir your own shit up. You know what I mean? Like you could go up to I don't know, fucking Kevin Owens and say, "I think you're a jerk, and I want to fight you in the ring," and then push him over or something, and then he's like, "Fuck you, guy," and then he's like, "I'm gonna see you in the ring," and then you can go up to the GM or Triple H or whoever and be like, "I want a match with this person because I'm pissed for this reason." Like they give you a drop down list of the reasons you're pissed, and it can be a face reason or a heel reason, or maybe
cool.
a tweener reason. So it's almost like Mass Effect, like you're playing a Mass Effect style game where you're defining whether you're a face or a heel, and then at any point you can choose to switch, but you need to be able to gauge a crowd reaction or gauge whether they will care. So you need to kind of push yourself to a level where you're actually good at one thing, and then when you know that the fans are behind you, then you like
Switch.
hit the change button, and then you're like pulling this promo where you're just cutting the shit out of the fans and stuff, and then they hear like their bad reaction to you, and you know that you've done it at the right time. If you don't do it at the right time, then they're not reacted at all because they don't give a shit.
And then you're back down to be a curtain jerker.
Exactly.
See, that would be interesting. I never thought about having that as an aspect, just like face turns, face and heel turns. I wish they would focus more on that instead of just like a series of matches.
Yeah.
And make heel and face a relevant aspect of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Or just the drama alone, like the actual storylines and shit, make that a relevant part of it. Because that's like, why else do you watch? You don't just watch wrestling to watch people fight like for 3 hours.
Because it's terrible. It's pretty
Exactly. Like I'd be watching UFC if that was the case. Like I don't even give a shit. Like I want to watch the actual drama, however shitty it is, behind each of these encounters that these people are having. And if you can't like recreate that in a game, what's the point in playing the game? Like you're picking up on the part that people don't give a fuck about, which is just the fighting each other part. I mean, sure, people want to recreate like moments and things, but if there's no actual drama to what you're doing,
What's
then you're
the
just
point?
playing. Exactly, you're just playing a fighting game, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's not the same.
And it's a little bit ironic that Raw pushes, like, they don't care about the wrestling. You have shitty, meaningless matches, and you hear 3 promos that don't make any sense or have any relevance to anything, and then there's a main event unrelated to anything.
Exactly.
So that's, why if they really wanted to make a WWE simulator, they should just keep re-releasing the same game, no changes, just like a piece of shit,
And just update it with DLC. Just keep it updated like that. Like, do you remember? I can't remember if this was the name, but do you remember a game called Extreme Warfare?
I used to love the Booker game.
Yeah, you booked your own matches and like you determined what happened and how it happened and blah blah blah.
I spent hours doing that.
Yes, exactly. So did I.
No graphics.
No graphics at all, but it was still fun as fuck. Like you could still determine whether Van Dam was gonna like murder fucking Chris Jericho in like a ladder match, and then you were gonna give him the title, but the crowd weren't really behind it, and you didn't give a shit. Like all of these decisions you were able to. It was almost like a management sim, like a fucking American football management sim or baseball or something like that. But it was wrestling. And you were being in control of all of that. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get why there isn't, like, stuff that's coming out sideways to just WWE 2K15. Now you got, like, Supercard and Immortals and all this other shit. But that stuff isn't actually good.
Yeah.
Like, another game, and I'm sorry to just keep going on and not let you speak.
Go for it.
But, do you remember a game called WWF With Authority? It was a card game.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I downloaded it. I never played it because I didn't get it.
Oh, I played the shit out of that game.
Is it good?
It was practically like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, but with wrestling. So you could chain together like cards. Like if someone was doing like a back body slam or something, you could counter it with a power bomb. Or if someone was doing a Hurricane Rana, you could counter it with a power. Like cards like overwrote other cards, and you could play like different styles of wrestler. Like where if it was Chris Benoit at the time, like if someone was going for like a punch. Chris Benoit, he was a wrestler in the WWE. So Chris Benoit, this wrestler who was in the WWE once. Like when someone went for a punch, you could counter it with like a crossface. Like it was really cool, and you had to build momentum to be able to use the cards that you wanted to.
Huh.
So further down the map, like you're able to use higher powered cards if you would chain moves together and stuff. Like it was genuinely a really good game, and it would probably do huge numbers now. But instead, they've got Supercard, which is just it's like granted I've played a lot of it, but I don't like myself. I don't like myself at all. But
Self-deprecation, Lou.
it is stuff. Yeah, like it's so reductive and so it's boring but addictive, and it's the worst kind of game that you could get yourself involved in. Whereas with us, it had like skill to it, and people had to build decks that were like considerate of what other people could bring to the table. Like it was always like there was so many ways to play that game. It was so much fun. But now all we've got is 2K15.
2K15. There's
Whatever,
actually
you know?
there's another EWR, Extreme Warfare. I think it's called
Is it?
Total Extreme. What is it? It's by Grey Dog Software. It's a deeper, more advanced version of that same game. Same guy, Adam Ryland. Same
Yeah.
goals, but there's no licensed guys. You can download packs to make it real world, but it's the same concept. Yeah, with more depth. You book the storylines, but the overall goal is to get good ratings, advertisements, and make money and be the best promotion. I think it's
Right.
Total Extreme Warfare.
I think it's Total Extreme Wrestling.
Yeah, that might be it.
That's what it's saying here, at least.
Because it's not warfare. It's wrestling. It's wrestling, boys. It's wrestling.
Yeah, this is the weirdest page. Grey Dog Software, like their product page for Total Extreme Wrestling 2013.
GeoCities.
The top header is just like some biceps and pectoral muscles, and then wrestling. Like it's disembodied like pair of tits and big arms, and then it just says wrestling underneath.
Is that what you think about?
That's what I think about when I think about wrestling. Yeah,
Some
I just think
TNA?
I think about a man's upper body, but not his head, just from like his neck to his lower nips. That's it. That's all I think about. This website's terrible.
Well, there you go, and you would know. Web design. So we're about 10 minutes over 4, Lou. You want to wrap this up?
No, I'm cool to go over the hour.
All right, we're going for the hour then.
Let's do this. I mean, I don't think people can actually, because my video failed on Twitch, so I think we might be doing this for offline at this point. But I'm fine with that. It's all good.
All right, so we're gonna keep running through here. Did you hear the rumors that Kevin Dunn, producer of WWE, it's just rumors. It's been reported against, debunking the rumors, but that they're trying to de-push Kevin Owens, which is not a shock, but de-push NXT guys in order to quote unquote stymie, who is also a character from the Little Rascals, stymie the power that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon have.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
So they're gonna try and kill certain aspects of a popular product in order to make a less popular product.
So that certain people can maintain their power within the company.
Yeah.
Guys like Kevin and Dunn. But that's similar to back, do you remember when, it was probably SmackDown 2000, before Heyman had it. It was like
Right.
Brian Jurwitz or something was the writer. And he was doing shit like that, it seemed like. You'd get a great talent, or you'd have guys like Lance Storm, who, he's boring, but he can work well. And they just bury the guy.
Yeah.
Or they'd give these guys these terrible gimmicks, and they'd push them on them.
Yeah.
And
So you're saying that's what they're doing?
well, that's just what rumors are saying, is that there's someone doing that shit again, just looking out to bury guys from NXT.
They're doing this to stop Triple H and Stephanie having power. Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what I read. That's what I read.
Strange.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but I mean that Kevin Dunn is on fucking everything. Like if you IMDb, he's literally the producer behind every single fucking thing that WWE does. So I could see him being in a position of power that he would not want to relinquish, but rather increase in some way. But to be able to go ahead and bury people who are actually good, that's just
Well,
That's just nonsense.
I think there's a divided opinion on guys like Kevin Owens. Because, like there was with CM Punk, he had to create his own push. He didn't have this, a lot of guys come in and they just get a push. Just because of how they look. Like, who was it, Mordecai? Do you remember Mordecai?
Rings a bell.
He was like a Gandalf-type character, counterpart to The Undertaker. He had like a long, big white beard. He was supposed to be like Gandalf the Grey. And he did the Razor's Edge.
What?
You don't
what is? I need to go. If I Google how he looks, maybe this will help.
He's terrible.
Mordecai, WWE.
And he came with huge hype.
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember this guy.
How could anyone think in our day and age, or even that time, that would be a good idea? And they pushed him. They wanted him to be the next Undertaker, or like a rival to the Undertaker.
Wow, he looks stupid.
How could they let that guy walk through the curtain? I said, put some clothes on, man. Put some fucking clothes. Put a hat on. Shave that hair. Get rid of your stupid beard.
That's one thing I worry about though with her is that like it's such a enclosed and insular kind of thing. They're all basically just bouncing off each other in this very, very insular environment, and they evidently very rarely listen to the people outside of that environment. So sometimes they just cohabitate these really shitty ideas, and because a lot of the higher ups have like a similar mentality because they go anywhere else or look anywhere else for like inspiration, they just like follow through on a load of shit that anyone outside of the product would like, that's a terrible idea, guys. But because they're inside the product and they don't actually ask people outside of it, they just think, fuck it, go with it. Vince McMahon loves this. Let's do this. And then they realize, fuck, what have we done? When they take it out to the arena and everyone's just like stupid, like just booing for the wrong reasons or being even worse, completely silent. Like,
I don't get why they boo him. I don't get it. He's white.
We all agreed this was a great idea.
Yeah, that's stupid. I mean, I was listening to an interview with The New Day, and they were saying like Vince McMahon honestly thought The New Day was going to be face, like baby faces, and they were just going to be loved by everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how anyone would think that. Like, that's going back to the 80s mentality where, you just like good guys. They're saying things about God, and it's just like church. We like people about... No, nobody wants that. Kofi Kingston's hottest moment was when he was going against the grain. When he was going against Randy Orton, throwing him through tables, and, wrecking his vehicles, things like that. Mm-hmm. Nobody gives a shit about a gimmick. You can't base somebody's career off a gimmick and expect it to give them success just because you come out in some sweet shirt. Not saying New Day has sweet shirts. I mean, they got Big E, and that's pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah.
But there's so much more they could do than base these characters off a gimmick.
But then this is what it all comes down to, the fact that the guy having all the decisions is stuck in the 80s, isn't he? Like, when you think about it, like every sign off from like people talking on interviews and shit about backstage stuff, everything goes through Vince still to this day. Like, it doesn't matter if you're Stephanie or Triple H or anyone, you can't really affect the course of something if Vince likes it or if Vince wants it. It just happens, regardless of what the people want, what anyone else wants. If Vince thinks it's a good idea, it happens. And that is a terrible, terrible way of managing a company, is to let this one guy who is completely disconnected from everything make all of the most important decisions, or any decisions even. Like, the best thing that can happen to the WWE is that Vince either retires or just dies. Like, that's harsh, because, I mean, obviously he's done a lot. But at this point, he needs to just stop. He needs to just stop doing what he's doing. Just fuck off with all his money, enjoy his life, and let other people handle it now.
Yeah.
But not the wrong people, because that's probably what's going to happen. Is he's going to leave it to Kevin Dunn or someone like that, and they're just going to continue fucking up in the exact same way that he did. Oh god, it's terrible. It's kind of sad when you think about it.
It doesn't make. I mean, you can see when Vince McMahon's in a match or an angle. He is very 80s. He's very animated. His face is always agape, like, oh, like if he's shocked, he is shocked. His eyes are wide. They're like dinner plates, and his jaw's on the floor. His tongue's sticking out there. You can see his dinky sticking in through his throat because his jaw is so low. You can just see it all. But I don't know. Like Vince McMahon has the wrong mindset in the sense that all of his successful subsidiaries, the Attitude Era, ECW, fucking D-Generation X, NWO, they've all pulled influence from outside the wrestling business. And it's the opposite now, just like you said. It's very insular. Incestual. Because
I mean, the funny thing is, the NXT has come about, and now it's kind of like AEW. And I would imagine Vince just looks at it as like a bastard stepchild or something. Like, why is this thing so popular when our main product, like, is so much better? Like, our main product is awesome. Why is this NXT thing even bringing up steam? Like, what the fuck is going? He's probably completely beside him with what the fuck NXT is, and God help me if he ever gets his hands on it in some way.
That's what I'm afraid of.
That'll be the end of fucking NXT, is when they do the ECW version of that for like TV.
Zombies coming out and shit.
And it's just fucked.
That's what I'm afraid is going to happen. It's going to get so big that it's going to be the main focus of the stockholders. It's going to be like, well, this has to now be more PG. Our audience, they've got children, and see, it turns out that their kids like to watch the show too. So you can't. You know what? In fact, everyone wear pants now. Okay. No, none of these little underwear things that you're wearing. Are those underwears? They look like underwears. Because that's what's gonna happen.
Really, that's how they sound in meetings. Those would be the best meetings to go to. Just a bunch of morts from Family Guy, just talking about how fucking offensive wrestling is.
But yeah, I feel like that's gonna happen because look at the stupid rules they have now. Like in tag team matches, you can only have so many breaks. You can't come and interrupt the pin more than twice. And that's fucking stupid. The best tag team matches have so much chaos and anarchy by the end of it that you don't know what's going on. But you have to have that freedom. By taking away these freedom for the wrestlers, you're eliminating the potential entertainment that we get. I don't care if it makes sense. Just entertain me in that time. Fuck the rules. Fuck these rules. I don't want that shit.
But that is part of the thing, is that they're trying to appeal to everyone at the same time. Whereas, like, what I've heard is that NXT works because they have a very focused demographic. They're going for 18 to 30s or whatever they're going for, but it's like the older generation and we grew up with the Attitude Era and stuff like that. So they're very, very specifically trying to target us, I guess, and they're succeeding in doing so. Whereas on main roster and stuff, they're putting it on network TV. It's like it's there for anyone to watch, and the PG kind of thing, it has to run the gamut from the 4-year-old with the fucking John Cena towel to like the 80-year-old who is just fucking, I don't know,
doesn't know what's going on
or some shit. Exactly. Yeah.
He's still waiting for Larry to come up. Living legend. Where's
Flair? Where's Flair? like they have to appeal to all of these people, And the thing that I think would be awesome is if they lost all of their TV privileges and just moved it all to the network. Because if that was the case, part of me thinks that they would think to themselves, well, you know what, we've got this specific demographic on the network that is 18 to 30 who likes this, and this. NXT is huge on this. We should probably try and mold our product to reach these people more. Because obviously, like little kids, they're not going on WWE Network, or at least not without parental supervision or whatever. Like and it's making them focus a lot more on what they're doing. It's on the main product. It's just like they're just trying to tick so many boxes
Yeah.
that it's becoming just nothing.
Two things I wish they could do: make superstars like the kids show. Make
Yeah.
superstars like the PG thing. Keep Raw, whatever it was for however
Keep
long.
raw.
Yeah, keep it. Make it Raw as War. Or on that, second thing you could do is back in the '90s. I remember they had a 2-hour show, but
Yeah.
secretly it was two different shows. One was Raw and one was Raw's War. Or one was the War Zone and then the second one was Raw's War. So for the first half it'd be the less controversial stuff. And then on the second half it'd be a little bit more controversial. Because it was later. It was a different time frame.
So it's like after the post watershed or whatever they call it.
Yeah, because you would notice that they would have a different intro video play randomly.
Right.
And I never really knew that until I had satellite and you have the visual menu that shows you what shows are on. And it would show you that it's actually two different titles. So, yeah.
And it was 2 hours long altogether.
Yeah, so 1 hour
Not
of one.
not 3.5 hours. Like,
Oh my god, what a waste! I don't understand. What do they do with all that time? Give me
Clearly nothing, right? Like I've seen it.
like they have so many guys on their roster who deserve to be pushed. It doesn't matter if they have a lot of time, but give them angles. Like give Zack Ryder anything. Just give him anything. The guy created his own push, and you took it away from him.
Yeah, well, they will do that, won't they?
Motherfuckers.
They will do that.
Yeah, it's because he had underwears, man.
Yeah, that's true. He had frosted tips and underwear. So that's a terrible combination. You don't want that shit on your TV. But no, they do need to take it back to 2 hours for sure. Big time.
Yeah, it's too long. They start the show with the same format every week. It's always some goofy fucking promo.
20-minute promo every time, yeah.
And then it's like a 2-minute match that no one cares about. Start the show with like a title match. Don't explain it. Just start two guys in the ring. This next keep us on our toes, you know.
Yeah.
Keep us wanting to watch, not knowing what's gonna happen. I mean, kids aren't that stupid. Because I was a kid when it was the Attitude Era.
It's true. But a lot more happened in the Attitude Era. Like, titles actually did change hands on Raw and SmackDown even. Like, that happened, but now you know it just won't. Now you know that if there's a world title match, the guy who's got the title is going to win or get disqualified or something, and the title isn't going to change hands.
Yeah.
When's the last time a world title changed hands on Raw? It must be like 5-6 years ago.
It was a while ago, man. The best title change I remember on Raw was when Jericho beat Triple H. When it was like a year in. He was in for a year, and then he got a roll up on Triple H.
Oh, right.
And it was a big upset. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Crowd went nuts.
That kind of shit does take people by surprise. It's just like when Mankind he won on Raw, didn't he?
Oh, he did.
He won his first battle on Raw. Like, when that shit happened, people remembers it because that's completely out of the ordinary. That doesn't come around a lot, but it does. Like, it does come around a lot, but it does at some point.
Yeah.
And that's what people got excited about. Whereas now, you know for a fact that
nothing great is going to happen.
Exactly.
Like,
there is no fucking way.
As much as I want to go to see it live, I kind of don't want to spend the money because I already know what's going to happen. Like
Well, that's the thing.
I could book these shows.
Yeah.
And that's
no, anyone could. Anyone couldn't be better. But the thing is, like, live shows are actually fun to watch. Like, they're a million times more interesting or exciting to actually experience than to just watch on TV.
Yeah.
But that might just be the hype of being at a live event, even.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to many in the past, and I had a lot of fun. But it was more the activity of just being at a live event.
Yeah.
But I mean, I knew what was happening. The best one I went to was a Nitro show in 1999, I think, maybe 2000. Yeah. They had like a fire set. It was all red.
Okay.
That's when like Mike Awesome was around and Team Canada and stuff. That was great, and it was really confusing because there was a lot of post-production that you didn't see.
Yeah.
So you'd suddenly see. You'd see two guys in the ring cutting a promo. Then they're all cool. They're just hanging out. Then then one guy laid down on the ground. I think it was Sting. He laid down and started like selling an injury. But nothing happened. Like they went back to TV, and I'm sure the announcer's like, Sting was just attacked. Oh my God, I'm Tony Schiavone. Blah blah blah. Or whoever was there. But yeah,
That's quite funny though, because like a similar kind of lapse in reality happened when I went to SmackDown recently. Like people will cut promos or actually have matches and win, and then when they win, excuse me, I lost my voice for this. When they actually win, like the replay happens, and the people in the ring just watch the replay. Like it's so strange. Like the person just got the 3 count and like does a little bit of showboating and stuff, and then like where on TV I'd be like, let's take a look at what's happened in that matchup. Like the people in the ring, they'll just kind of sit or stand and they'll just watch the screen, and then obviously after the replay, maybe it'll cut back to the commentary table or it will go to a break or something. And people in the ring will just kind of just solemnly shuffle out and then just walk up the ramp together. Like it's like what the fuck is going on? They're not really rivals. They're just walking up the ramp like they don't give a fuck about anything.
I thought you were gonna tell me, like I was expecting you to tell me that the replays that you watch are actually them redoing the spot again.
If that was the case, man, I would have a new appreciation for us. I promise you that. I wish that was it, but no, not quite.
Maybe one day we'll get there. Lou, we're at the hour mark. Do you want to shut her down?
We can shut her down, yeah.
All right. Well, this has been an hour. What I'm going to do for these podcasts, this is a video portion. I'm going to strip the audio, and then I'm going to make this audio part of another audio that I'll record. Boom, iTunes. There you go. But for now, people watching, if anyone is, if it's not black, if you can hear me, if you can't, then I'm just talking to myself. And for the people who are listening on iTunes, thanks for listening. Come back next week. We won't have technical difficulties because OBS is something I believe in.
I definitely believe in it.
Lou believes in it, and XSplit, you've let me down for the last time. All right, well, this is one Ryan Joseph, alongside my man Lou Chu. Go visit my man at twitchoverlay.com, buy some overlays. Make yourself look professional. Hit subscribe on the page, and come back again. Boy.
Boy.